Seems like there's a glare in the back. What's cooking, Gio?
Yeah, we'll start like in 1 minute, I guess. Just get a couple more people to log on.
Sounds great. What's cooking, Gio?
Yeah, we'll start like in 1 minute, I guess. Just get a couple more people. You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what I did. I kind of like made my screen.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
all right, so get started.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
All right. So good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Giovanni Nicosia. I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for 25 years. And today we were going to do like a top producer mastermind. I have Corey Edwards from Keller Williams on the call today. And I've actually known Corey since 2009. Basically, I've known Corey through the really bad times, the foreclosures and REOs and short sales. I've known him just through the best times, and now I basically, want him to like really give some tips on things he's done in the future to be successful, things he's doing now, and so on. What else? I guess start Corey. I mean, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I know you're in Michigan right now.
Yep.
So I know you actually wrote a book also 29 years later. Tell me a little bit about the book or about yourself. Let us know a little bit about you.
All right. So first of all, you guys have to excuse my screen. I don't know why it's so blurry, but this is not my office computer. I don't know what's going on with my laptop, but yeah. So I wrote a book that's called 29 Years Later. I do a lot of, besides real estate, I do a lot of motivational speaking here across the country. Long story short, I got shot at the age of 17. I was completely, accidental gunshot, which left me as a, paraplegic, paralyzed from the waist down. Hundreds of doctors told me I'd never walk again. 2 years later, after me being injured, I was able to, gain some sort of movement in both of my legs, and fast forward now, 29 years later, I'm still paralyzed from the knees down, but overall, I've been in real estate I started my journey in real estate, actually 28 years. 28 years ago, at the age of 20, I definitely enjoy the game and enjoy the sport of real estate, and love to teach and coach and help others.
So, for example, as I said, I've known him many years. Like 1 year, he was actually the number 5 agent in all of Keller Williams, throughout the nation, and actually throughout the world, right?
Yeah.
Last year, I know you did about I think it was 93 closings.
Right.
So, what inspired you to become a real estate agent? What got you started in the industry?
Well, I started off I come from a family that, that had rental properties here in the city of Detroit, where I am right now, downtown. So, I grew up collecting rent, right? And I wanted to take the real estate knowledge that I had from being a kid that was in, that worked for his father or worked for my parents, to the next level. So I got into mortgages, got into the mortgage industry back in 2000. And besides being in real estate at the age of 20, and worked at a company. Actually, I'm here for an event at the company today and tomorrow. Worked at a company called Rocket Mortgage. Worked there for 10 years. In 2008, market tanks, crashed. I lost everything financially. During my peak years of Rocket Mortgage, 8 out of 10 years, I was number one in sales or top 3 in sales, top 150, average mortgage originators across the country. Market tanked in 2008, went through a divorce, lost my house, lost many houses, lost my car, and I packed up and I moved to sunny South Florida in 2009.
So when I first met you, like I said, I know you're working with your brother, and you guys were doing a lot of REOs. REOs are bank-owned properties, a lot of the foreclosures.
Right.
How do you see the market now? Do you see that happening again, or how do you feel about that?
Well, you know what, we're excited. We're excited regarding the market that we're in right now, and this market right now is not going anywhere. If there was inventory that was out there, where people didn't have equity in their homes, and we could have an issue. But being that we are in an extremely strong market, we don't have an inventory problem. We have buyers that are looking at buyers that are dying to purchase real estate. We're definitely in a solid market. What we are seeing in the overall market, being that a lot of agents aren't producing as much as they have done over the years, is we're starting to see agents get out of the business, which leaves in market share for those who are dialed in, and agents that want to work extremely hard and prospect for business daily. Those are the ones that are definitely going to win the game and make a lot of money.
So, okay, as you said, you're a successful, lender. Market crash, so of course people are not refinancing, people are not doing mortgages, and you moved down here, you started doing real estate. So what are some of the challenges you faced when you first got started, basically as a real estate agent?
Well, for me in the beginning is, listen, I'm born and raised in the inner city of Detroit, right? So, when I, decided to pack up and my parents co-signed for a car for me to leave the city, to move down to Fort Lauderdale, it's knowing the area, right? Knowing the area and coming from an area where I knew everybody back at home, which is Michigan, but going to an area where I didn't know anybody, right? So that was a huge challenge for me, in the beginning. But one thing that I was able to get over that challenge was picking up the phone and nailing down and prospecting every single day.
So you would do cold calls when you say prospecting?
Absolutely. I come from a world of real estate where, real estate, now is considered to be easy. When I started, Giovanni, you remember Bressers, right? We'll have a book, man. And we'll hand down, the alphabet A. So if your last name was, if your name was out, last name was Alex, then we'll call all the way through A. That would take us a couple of weeks for me to get through until we get to B, until we had somebody that raised their hand that was looking to purchase or sell real estate. So, real estate right now is extremely easy. It's just a matter of buckling down and prospecting every single day. And once you really have that routine, then you'll for sure you'll prosper.
Yeah, that's what I see. I just see a lot of realtors. They don't. I mean, I guess my personal opinion is treat it like a business, just not out there every single day hustling.
Right.
Or if they do get a deal, not not do the same thing over and over again, because there is business out there to get, but it's just, you got to go out there and get it. It's just not going to come to you as,
Yeah.
So yes, so like basically, and just so you know, anybody on this call, if you guys have any questions, anything, just feel free to ask. No question is stupid. The goal is for you guys to learn. So ask any questions either in the chat, unmute yourself, ask away. As I said, our goal is to help you. So any questions you have. So
Absolutely.
what skills do you think a realtor needs to have, or qualities to become successful?
Well, I always say, listen, first of all, you have, if you want to own, you have to own your mornings in order for you to own your day. And what I mean by that is, I always tell agents is, you have to treat it like a job, right? If you were $100,000 employee and you had to be at work at 8 o'clock every single day, you knew you couldn't get out of work until 6 o'clock in the evening, then go to work every single day at 8 o'clock and be there and be ready to jump on the phone and prospect for new business. Go through, not only go through your database of people that you do know, but tap into those who are in need of help, right? I was in a statistics class, this past Friday or last Friday, and it's unbelievable how much business that is out there, not only in expired listings, for sale by owners and, online leads. 1 out of 3 people that are, 1 out of 3 listings that becomes expired goes 1 out of 3 listings that are taken becomes an expired, right? So think about that. That's an enormous amount of business right then and there. But going back to owning your mornings, getting on the phone, prospecting, making sure that your day is filled of appointments and making sure that you have one goal every single day of going out and meeting a new buyer or a new seller.
Yeah, every successful realtor I know, that's what they do. They treat it as a business, and that's what you have to do. It's your job. I mean, it's just like you said, wake up early, start prospecting, and doing it day in and day out, and over time, it's going to be successful.
Correct.
And just like there's so many things, actually next week I'm doing a class. It's called Marketing on $100 a Month Budget. There's so many things you could do that that don't require money. Like you said, cold calling. Last week, I literally got an email blast from a realtor on a property, and I saw it and I was like, wow, this is an amazing deal. And I called and I went to look at the property and actually put an offer from an email blast. So they didn't accept my offer, but here's a person who could almost made, let's say, what was it? Like over $20,000 from an email blast. That wasn't even her listing. It was just, saw a great deal and did it. So there's so much things you can do out there, to get business. So what do you do like to market? Like besides, like you said, you still do cold calling?
Absolutely. So, personally, I don't, at this point in time in my life, but we do have callers. So we have ISAs, right? And an ISA is what we call them an inside sales associate. We have 4 callers. In average, they make, between 2,000 to 2,500 phone calls per day. Now, most of those are not conversations met, right? But, it's broken down to right around 8%, conversations that are met. And based off those 8% conversations that are met, we're saying, about a 1 to 2%, listing appointment rate overall as a team. So, the more conversations that is had around real estate, the more opportunities that you will be able to have. Also, door knocking. 123 Main Street comes up as an expired listing, or maybe somebody went online and on Zillow and they mentioned that they want to sell their home as a for sale by owner. You know what? Go and say hello to these people, right? This game, or this sport, I call at least, is an extremely aggressive business. And over the years that I've been in business, Giovanni, it becomes passive at some point in time, right? where you're getting the referrals, or where you're getting the close clients that are calling you back because now they either want to buy a bigger home, or maybe they want to turn around and sell their home and upgrade or downgrade. So the more that you pour into the world of real estate, especially those who are especially those who are tapping in and that's new in the business, the more that you will get out of it, in a short period of time.
So, like yourself, I know, you're a father.
Hmm.
You have a family. You're a successful realtor. You also you do fix and flips, right? You're still doing
Right.
that.
You
So
got it.
how do you
Absolutely.
manage your time? How do you manage your time?
That's my bread and butter.
That's your bread and butter right now.
At some point in time, as you create a level of success, right, in one business, and my first business, of course, is the traditional way of real estate, which is working with buyers and sellers, but being able to leverage that out and have somebody to help and manage and build around that, gives me the opportunity of going out and concentrating on purchasing and reselling real estate.
So you mentioned right now it's your bread and butter. Right now, a lot of people think there's no good deals out there anymore. Mm-hmm. Are you still finding good deals?
Oh my God. It's amazing. It blows me away. Over the last 3 weeks, I've taken in, three purchase buys, and it's just mind blowing on how many people out there who just want a cash offer on their home, and they don't want to go on market. I don't want my neighbors to know, right? Really? or I don't want nobody in my house, right? Just give me a cash offer and I'm out of here. Or, so it blows me away. And listen, this is the trend of real estate. This is something that is not new. This is something that's been there forever, where you're seeing extremely motivated sellers who don't want to go on market, who wants to sell off market. And if the numbers make sense, then those could be great opportunities and great buys. And those can lead into wholesales, those can lead into flips, those can lead into buying homes, and not only that, those could lead into an enormous amount of wealth.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. As a realtor.
I have a question for Corey on that particular subject. Where do you find those clients? Are you door knocking? Are you looking at for sale by owners? How do you narrow down the list?
Absolutely. Great question. So I use a company for data. It's called REI Facts. All right. I'm an extremely data driven guy. Right. So REI Facts allows for you to pull up probates. Okay. It allows for you to pull up pre-foreclosures. Okay. It allows you to pull up an enormous amount of data for you to narrow down, those who may need help, or those who are, those who could be extremely motivated sellers. So once you pull that data, then you can have that data skip trace. There's a bunch of companies out there that you could use. And I use a company called IDI. Actually they're a public traded company. They're able to skip trace the data, and I would probably say they have about a 75% accuracy rate.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
because I've used some skip tracers, and they're like, they sell their information really cheap, and I was like, yay! Yeah, and then you get email addresses that are AOL and companies that aren't even in business.
Right. Exactly.
And 500 phone numbers. It's like, okay, I have 5,000 leads and 500 numbers per lead. Where do I get to the bottom of the barrel and even make the contact?
Correct. Yeah.
What does that cost a month about?
It's 15 cents per skip trace. But you see other online companies or people that are overseas. I could do it for 3 cents, right? So I pay for extremely quality data in order for us to have a higher conversion rate.
Like Monique said, I can't find the website of REI Facts. Do you know the website?
Yeah, our REI Facts. I'll Google it. Just give me a second.
Okay. Yeah, and just I got so that's that to that. And that's the thing is too, as a realtor, like even if you don't have the money right now to be buying these properties yourself, you know, you could be looking for these properties for your clients, you know, like what are real people looking for? They're looking for, you know, properties they can fix and flip. They're looking for multifamily, they're looking for, you know, short sales, Airbnbs. Find these properties and then advertise them and get your phone to ring, you know? So I said, even if you don't have the listings, go out, you don't have the money to buy it yourself, go out there and find them and have these available because everyone wants a good deal. So if you're finding them and you're presenting this to these people, there's a good chance they're going to buy and you're going to make money, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. So just to go back is reifacts.com, REIFacts, FAX, like a fax machine.com.
Oh, FAX. That's why. That's the difference. REIFAX.com.
You got it.
Any other questions?
Right, Giovanni. You know, listen, we are in an extremely competitive market, especially when it comes to investors or wholesalers down here that, listen, if you come across a fantastic deal, you know, just bring it to the table. You know, I'll leave my information here, or you can reach out to Giovanni. We'll help and guide you through that process.
Yeah, like I bet you right now, if everyone on here even just post it right on social media, I have an amazing Airbnb property. Gone. Call me now.
It's gone.
Your phone is going to ring.
It's gone. You call me first though before you do it.
But I'm saying your phone will ring.
Call me first.
And your phone rings and you have a list of properties ready to show these people. You're gonna, you're gonna close deals. But as I said, you just, devote a certain part of your day to go find these properties and have them ready. So when a client calls, you're able to show them. So even if it's not your listing, even if it takes a little work, but like I said, it's our job.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Any other questions from anybody on that topic before we move on?
Or make sure you leave your information because
I will. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what advice would you give like a new realtor just starting out, or someone like struggling right now?
Listen, you have to, well, first of all, that's twofold, Giovanni. And what I mean by that is, you have a lot of real estate agents that have jobs, right? Mm-hmm. They may have a 9 to 5 or you may have a real estate agent that may get in a business that says, hey, listen, I have enough money. And one thing that we want to do is we want to have enough reserves, in our bank account before, you transition into real estate. And I'm tapping into those who want to make the transition into real estate that cannot go full time. Is listen, I've been there and I've done that, right? You have to outwork. You have to outwork majority of the, I wouldn't say majority of the agents that are part-time, but if your overall goal is to jump in and have a full-time real estate business, your dedication has to be times 3, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have a 40-hour job and you want to go full-time in real estate, listen, you got to double down. You got to go 40 hours full-time in real estate in order for you to transition out of your full-time job, right? This is a demanding high-level business once you're in, but it's overall rewarding once you get over that hump. If you're an agent that has the reserves where you're not worried about your bills or income coming in every single month, then first of all, coaching, right? Listen, I'm 28 years in real estate and I'm still being coached, right? I'm still learning new, what's going on in the industry. But first of all, coaching, getting with either a great team or a great mentor, right? That can help you get to the next level quickly instead of you going out there and doing it on your own. I failed many times in my career, right? And how I failed was I wanted to do Corey's way, not the right way. And which has cost me millions of dollars over the last almost 30 years of being in real estate. But just making sure that you're surrounding yourself with high caliber people that are willing to teach you and coach you and guide you and get you to the next level. Going back to coaching, there's some fantastic real estate coaches that are out there. I'm a Mike Ferry or Tom Ferry, ex-student. These sort of, I'm a really big, Jeff Glover. He's one of my, not only a friend of mine, I'm a big, Glover, sort of, advocate, but just making sure that you're getting high level coaching if you can afford it. And it's not that expensive, but just making sure that you kind of tap into that. And then once you start being coached, you're able to speak the language of real estate, right? Which is scripting, right? We want to speak the language of real estate. And then not only that, you'll be able to go on appointments. You're able to overcome objections, and you're able to close on listing appointments, and not only that, buyer appointments as well.
Okay, Tom Ferry, I kind of know his principles. What does Glover teach? Because I've heard him, but I really don't know much about him.
Well, Job, he's a spinoff of Mike Ferry, right?
Oh, yes.
It just it's a completely different coaching, but Jeff was coached by Mike Ferry, so it's just a spinoff of his overall coaching, but it's a fantastic program for those who want to look into, or have conversations around. You are, I tell agents, you're serious that, real estate is your career is as serious as you are, right? If you go in, you take it extremely serious. This is something you want to do. This is, levels in your life that you want to have, then listen, man, the amount of money that comes, that you're able to obtain in real estate is nothing like it compared to, I don't care what sort of industry anybody's in.
Yeah. Last week I wired 2 realtors, $150,000 each on a closing.
Wow.
And the one realtor, was her first deal, and she got it from a cold call. Her first deal from a cold call made $150,000. So imagine waking up, going online and seeing your bank account, you have $150,000 extra from one deal.
That's
so
great.
It's just a business that can really change your life on one deal. And I always tell people, even though I'm an attorney, I'm no different than a realtor. I have to go every month to bring in business, because I could have an amazing month this month, but if I'm not hustling, bringing up business, nothing. When I first, opened my title company in 2003, and I didn't know a single realtor. I didn't know a single mortgage broker. My goal was to do 1 closing a month, but I was out there every day hustling, every day meeting people, taking people to lunch, going to, and, the first year, I think I did like 200 something closings. The next year I did over 1,000, but that's just like you just got to go out there and just, meet people, like, network, prospect. Just there's once again, there's so many things you could do, but you got to do it consistently, and over time it's going to pay off. There's no doubt. And the amount of money you can make is unlimited, really.
It is unlimited. It is unlimited. Yeah. Wow. Just
real quick before we proceed, because you mentioned coaching, so I'll do like a little commercial for myself. So, what I'm doing is I'm providing training. I've been doing October 1st every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Actually, Corey mentioned a lot of people work 9 to 5 jobs. I'm even doing classes in the evening, like we did a contract class last Thursday. And, I'm already working on next month's calendar, like we have contract classes, social media classes, marketing classes, a class on the new condo laws. We have a chat GPT class, short sales or foreclosures, FIRPTA, 1031 exchange classes, top producer class. So have already so much stuff lined up. And, I have a website. It's called asktherealestateattorney.com. And, as a member, you get invited to all the classes. Also, we have like a video library, a forums library. And what I'm doing actually to try to get people to join, on November 22nd, I'm going to do a $1,000 cash raffle. So I know some people on here are already members, and you'll be eligible for that raffle. And anybody who joins from now until then as well will be eligible for that $1,000 cash raffle. If you go to asktherealestateattorney.com, like I have the website there, use the code LAW, LAW, you'll get a free month of training and you'll be eligible for the raffle. So we're going to do the raffle on November 22nd, live on Instagram. And that's kind of like what Corey's saying. I'm not a real estate coach, but I definitely know a lot of stuff and I'm trying to bring value, things that are going to help you, have different speakers like the Chat GPT. I don't know much about it, but I have an expert in that who's going to speak next month on that. Also, actually, this Thursday, I'm doing a really interesting class, which I strongly recommend you take. It's called 3% Mortgage in a 7% World. It's going to be dealing with two things. One, assumptions of mortgages. I'm going to show you step by step how to find these, how to apply for them, how to close them. Like we literally closed the deal a couple of months ago where the buyer closed with 3.25% interest rate right now in these times. Okay. I also have this a lender from City National. They have this amazing program where they're offering interest rates between 3 and 5%. There's some requirements to qualify, but it's like legit because we just did a closing with them. Like first when I saw it, I'm like, this isn't real. And so he's going to be speaking about that program. So that's Thursday. It's called a 3% Mortgage in a 7% World. And so on. But like I said, go to asktherealestateattorney.com, use code LAW, and you'll be eligible for that $1,000 raffle. So anybody else have any other questions for Corey? As I said, this is your time. No question is dumb. Ask away.
Absolutely not. Fire away. Fire away.
So what's your book about? Like, tell us a little bit about your book.
My book is built around adversity, right? I always say there's 3 cycles in life, which is adversity. Either A, we're going through it, right? So we're going through adversity. B, we're in it. A lot of people are in it. Or C, we're coming right out of it and we're getting ready to go right back in it. So my book is built on, my challenges that I've had throughout my career. Hey, listen, I've been walking on 2 canes for 27 years of my life, and the peak of my real estate career, when I became number 5th in the world as far as real estate sales, I sold 165 homes, right? Just I had a couple admins to help out, but I did it personally. So it's not only geared toward business, but it's geared toward pushing through life and having an extremely strong mindset. Do I have challenging days? Yeah, I do, absolutely. Do we all? Yes, we do. But it's an extremely powerful book.
How can I get that book?
What's that?
How can they get it?
You can go to 29yearslater.com, 29yearslater.com. You can Google it and it's everywhere.
29, the number?
29, yep. Numeric 29yearslater.com. Eric Thomas, I speak with him, periodically. He wrote the foreword to my book. Really good friend of mine. I love Eric. He's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. Love him. Yeah. I'm coming on my 30th year in real estate, and here in the next 2 years, and my overall goal, and as I kind of, I wouldn't say I'm phasing out of real estate, but 2 more years from right now, that's what I'll be doing full time. Is traveling the world.
Speaking. Bernard, I see you on there. I know you got some questions, Bernard.
Well, I always have questions. Corey, how are you doing, man?
Good, Bernard. How are you doing, brother?
Fantastic. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks for coming up on this platform and sharing information. I never forget your name, because I went to the listing appointment and you got the listing and I didn't. So I'm like, So I always remember your name. I look you up, and that's how I found out who you were.
Yeah.
Where does most of your business come from? Where does most of your business, majority of your business?
We're prospect heavy, man. So if we're not, if we're not smiling and dialing, we're not smiling at in a month with no checks, right? So you know, like I mentioned, you know, I'm huge on old expireds. I'm, you know, huge on pulling data from REI facts. You know, I'm huge on calling probates. I'm huge on calling pre-foreclosures. You know, I'm huge on, you know, circle prospecting, you know. Listen, there's a enormous amount of business out there, but you know, in order for an agent to transact at an extremely high level in this market right now, you gotta lock yourself down from 8 to 12 or 8 to 1 o'clock every single day in prospect, right? And what you will find out is when you lock yourself down and, you know, you get your mojo or you get your Vulcan 7 or, you know, you get your system, then not only you're going to have an enormous amount of business, but you're going to have an enormous amount of follow-ups. And you're going to have, you know, you're going to have people that are maybe not willing to sell right now, but listen, they may be looking to sell in 6 months, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to have a extremely strong follow-up system where you're just going to, whereas if you just continue to follow up with people that you're adding into your database every single day, then next thing you know, you're going to be closing a lot of transactions.
Just
yeah,
I want to mention a couple things. One, you know, you mentioned how you lost that listing to Corey. That's another thing. I see a lot of realtors, I guess, discourage, you know, yeah, of course it's disappointing, but when you don't get a listing, use that as a learning experience. Find, you know, figure out, okay, what can I do better next time? Like, what questions did they ask me that I didn't have the answer for? You know, like that's what I, you know, even with these classes, I did a class and I said, okay, I can do better. So I went out there and, you know, you try to improve it. You improve it every time. You know, that's just like same thing with listing appointment. You know, if you don't get a listing, don't, you know, take it as a defeat. Take it as a learning experience and be better the next time. You mentioned circle prospecting. Can you explain what that is?
Circle prospecting is, you know, let's just say you want to call, you know, East Fort Lauderdale, for instance. You know, you're able to pull a list from, you know, from once again, from REI Facts or, you know, there, and I mentioned REI Facts, guys, that's who I use, but, you know, there's other companies out there, Cole Realty Source, you know, you can pull data from many different companies that are out there. But, you know, where, you know, you're able just to pull that list of potential homeowners and just giving that particular area or that fine area that you want to concentrate in a call and just saying that, hey, Giovanni, my name is Corey. You know, I'm a local real estate agent. You know, I have some buyers that are looking to purchase here in the community. Are you looking to sell? Right. And from there, you know, of course, you're going to get 90% no's. But, you know, if you get 10% yeses or yes in 6 months or 12 months or, you know, a year and a half from right now, you're able to put these people in your database and start building relationships with these folks.
Ruth, you have a question? I see you raise your hand.
Yes, I do, Corey. How many people are on your team and how many in each role? Like, do you have listing partners? Do you have buyer's agents? You said you have insights.
Yeah. So for right now, we have 5 agents, you know, full time, and then we have 4 callers, ISAs. And my ISAs have been with me for, you know, my oldest one has been with me for about 7 or 8 years. Now, you know, we hold them, you know, accountable, right? I have agents that come to me, you know, all the time and say, hey, Corey, I want to get a caller. Okay, great. You can get a caller, but you have to train these callers, right? So every single morning, besides today, you know, I'm on the phone with them scripting and role playing every single morning. Starts at 7:30 in the morning, ends at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock starts, and then they're on the phones, right? So, you know, this is practice. This is routine. You know, this is daily practice that we do every single day, Monday through Friday, so that we have a high level sort of skill set when we are making the outbound phone calls and prospect.
But like you said, but when you first started, you were the one doing the call.
You got it.
When you first started.
Absolutely correct.
Until you got to the point where you could hire someone else to do
That
it.
is correct. And once you get to that point, and once you have that right person that is, you know, heavily scripted, can come over, you know, overcome objections and land, you know, you listing appointments. And, you know, keep in mind, you're still keeping the same daily routine, that don't pull back, because all that's going to do is double your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Makes so instead of you going on one appointment that you set per day, now guess what? You got two, right? So you got your appointment that you set, and then now you have Giovanni's because he's your ISA. Now you have two appointments that you're going on.
Hey, just here, can you guys hear? Because someone just typed saying they can't hear nothing.
Yeah, we can hear. He's coming through loud and clear for me. Corey, if you prospect a lot, I know that lead follow-up is so important. It's probably super important to you.
Absolutely.
How much is following up too much? I mean, the 3 or 4 times, and kind of break it down for me. Should I follow up more on expired versus for sale by owners?
Right.
Kind of explain. And how much is like, let me throw this lead away, it's dead, I'm going to stop calling this person.
Listen, I'm looking for motivation, right? I'm not looking for somebody, you know, if I have $1 million house and, you know, the guy wants 2 million, he's not motivated. But I'm looking for, you know, somebody that you know, that needs and has to sell, right? You know, I may talk to you, Bernard, today, and you may say, Corey, I'm not looking to sell right now, but I'm looking to sell in 6 months because I'm retiring and I'm getting the hell out of Florida because I'm going to North Carolina to be with my kids. You may not be ready to sell right now, Bernard, but guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in contact with you. You know, I'm going to call you. I'm going to cut that time frame in half, 90 days, right? I'm going to cut that time frame in half, and then I'm just going to continuously to stay in contact with you until you are ready to sell. Also, you know, listen, I'm a huge fan of not only going back to you, but not as an example. Even though you may be looking to sell within 6 months, I'm going to drop you over. I'm going to drop in the mail the thank you note. Hey, Bernard, it was great talking to you. Okay. Today, I'm gonna have my business card in there. I'll call you here in a few months when you are ready to sell. I'll call you in 6 months when you're ready to sell. But at the same time, I'm calling in 3 months. I'm cutting time in half. If you are local, if you're close by, right? Then you know what? I may have talked to you today, Bernard, but you know, you may be 6 or 7 miles away from where I live at or my office. If I'm in that area, I'm just going to go door knock and say, hey, Bernard, you know, we had a great conversation last week. Bernard. You know, I know you're not looking to sell within 6 months, but hey, listen, I'm in the area looking at some properties. I just want to kind of say hello to you. And here's my business card. And here's a quick market analysis of what's going on here in the local community.
I just want to throw in there real quick because you mentioned a thank you card. You don't realize how powerful that can be.
Nobody's doing it.
Yeah. So I started recently, you know, because of the site I'm doing and stuff, making videos, and I hired a videographer and he did the first video with me. And then one day in the mail, I get this handwritten thank you card with a cigar in there, basically, you know, thanking me for the business. That's like, just like, you know, which I don't remember ever getting something like that. And it just, like now here, this person has a client for life probably because of that one thank you card. You know, here, like I've been doing other videos. I haven't even asked them what the price is. Hey, can you be here? Like I'm not shopping around for other people. From that one simple card, you know, he's gained me as a client, you know, because he showed that he appreciates me. And that's what it is. Sometimes it's just the little things that you don't realize that could make somebody use you, you know? So, you know, remembering their birthdays or, you know, just sometimes just the little things that just, like I said, it doesn't cost money, it just takes time.
Right. Yeah. Nobody's doing it. So
Yeah.
I had honestly got truth. I had a call. I mean, I get these calls like, you know, maybe 2 to 3 times a month. Right. So, not all listings you're going to get, right? So I had a call. I went on an appointment back in March, brand new, newer construction. I think the house is built in 2017. And the guy called me, I knew he was, I think he was semi-motivated, but I went on any other way, him and his wife. And he calls me, Corey, it's time for us to sell a home, $550,000 home, right? So and he just loved what I had to say. And, I wasn't really pushy. Okay. A lot of agents going home, once again, this goes to coaching too, right? Okay. I wasn't pushy at all. Just had a great, rapport, great conversation. And Corey, we're ready to go right now. Or we're ready to sell our home and buy a new home because we want to get the heck out of Broward. Where do we, send me the listing contracts and we put it on the market. So, it's just, this is a relationship sort of business and rapport building and, with the lead follow up and the lead generation, there's no reason no one here on this call should not be doing at least 24 transactions a month. I mean, a year, take that back. A year. I'll try to do 24 a month, a year.
That'd be amazing.
Corey, do you send a pre-listing packet or you don't even bother with that?
I don't. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, if it's face to face, I'm just giving some information. I'm just giving, my business card. I just want to go meet them face to face. I want to go say hello. I just want to break the ice, right? So once the ice is broken, then hey, listen, if you're looking to sell in 6 months, Bernard, man, I know who your wife's name is. I know your dog's name. I know you like to fish. I know pretty much everything that about you to the point that, I'm not calling you Mr. Campbell. I'm, hey, Bernard, what's up?
Mhm.
We're having open conversations like I'm your friend. You got it?
Yes.
Right. I'm just building relationships.
Got you. I lost 2 listings the other day from a really good client I had. I sold all their properties, and
Okay.
the only reason why the other agent beat me out is because she listed the property overpriced. So how should I deal with that? Should I have taken it overpriced? It was 550. Go ahead.
Once again, yep, that's a great question. Once again, I'm looking for motivation, right? If I know that Giovanni needs to sell, he has to go. There is a there's a reason why. I'm looking for a reason why somebody's trying to do something. If I know Giovanni needs to, he has to go, then yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna take it over listing. I'm gonna take it over. But guess what? We're gonna have conversations. And not only that, right then and there at that listing appointment, I'm setting that right expectation to that seller. Letting Giovanni know that, hey, Giovanni, I know that you want to be $50,000 over list price, but I'm just trying to, Giovanni, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a try. I don't want you shooting a messenger when we're unable to perform here in the next 60 days. Okay. Right. But I'm locking Giovanni down on a 6-month contract, a listing agreement contract, where he's bound to work with me for 6 months. We're going to have this conversation over and over and over until I get Giovanni to realize, and keep in mind, we're working hard on getting it sold. We're having conversations with the seller, once a week. I'm giving you, coaching you guys, right? I'm having conversations with the seller once a week so it's not a surprise to Giovanni. The problem with real estate agents is they take a listing and they never call the seller. They never update the seller on what's going on.
So you're giving weekly calls, like maybe probably every
Once a
Friday,
week.
and you're saying what? Hey, we haven't got any offers yet. What are you saying, Corey?
Yeah. Hey, Bernard, this is Corey. Hey, Bernard, Corey here, man. I just want to give you an update. We had this amount of views online, right? You can pull, for instance, everybody's on Zillow, right? We've had, 400 views online. We had a few saves, but Giovanni, we're going to do everything that we can in order for us to get your home sold for the dollar amount that you want, right? So we'll do that for a few weeks, right? Just updating. Hey, listen, I just want to let you know I'm here in the fight for you. I'm right here. I'm fighting for you, Giovanni. And then from there, it's not going, you're not getting nothing, then we got to have a pricing conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
Corey, I could speak to you for days, man.
That's all
but-
good. You can hit me. I'll put my
I
name and number in it. I'll put my name and number in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your book? I definitely got to pick up your book, man. What's it?
29 years later. 29 years later.
.com.
.com.
That's all
Two
on the
que-
drive.
I know Ruth's got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I had wanted to ask you what you said. I mean, Bernard was talking about taking an overpriced listing.
Right.
Bernard, did you know that someone else had told him, yeah, we can sell it for, 50,000 over what you were saying? Did you know that when you went into the listing appointment? How did that all happen?
You know what? I actually didn't know because I thought I was going to get the listing, but she wanted me to go from 5% to 4%, and I don't take listings on the 5%. That's my standard, right? And then so I said, listen, I'll do 5, but I didn't know anything. No, absolutely not. I thought I was going to get it, and she said, listen, I'm going to speak to some more agents, and I kind of stood on my standards. I'm like, 5 is it. It is 5, nothing less than 5, and it is what it is.
So it was more about the commission than actually the price that you had told the seller that you thought you wanted to list it at? Or was it both in the end?
It was both, but you know what? I screwed up because she listed with an agent and she paid them 5. I don't know if because she knew me. But she paid them 5 and she sold it for the price that I suggested that she should list it for. So I think I took full responsibility for that. I probably should have studied my scripts a little bit more. My coach told me it's just my fault, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my fault.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, that's why we have, we're not going to get them all, right? Our conversion rate is, right around 75%, maybe 80%, but long as you have many appointments, then at the end of the year, your ROI is going to be higher than most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey,
respect for you.
before you go, that listing that I went in, that you took,
Mhm.
she signed the contract, but for 6 months, she never listed the property because I wasn't going to list the property because it was in bad shape. She had to clear the stuff up. But when it expired, because I never listed it, I had this contract for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it expired, and I had to try to get her to sign again. I guess you went in and I presented again, and you went in and you got it. So
No problem.
I don't know what you did, but I know it comes with skill set and mindset. You know how to talk to them. So
yeah, it's all skill set, y'all. Real estate is all skill based, and it's all language. It's what we say, right? Our reactions,
Right.
our tone, our that's all it is. It's all skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Margaret had a question. Do you pay any lead generation company? If so, which?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, just just the companies that I just mentioned to you. I'm all about buying data. Yep, no Zillow, nothing. Real estate signs out front of our listings, of course. But no, I'm not a Google pay-per-click. I'm not a Zillow buyer. I'm not a realtor, realtor.com buyer. Okay. I'm honored and blessed to work with Rocket Mortgage because they send me a lot of business in Broward County. That's why I'm here in Detroit now. But no online. We're all outbound.
Okay. Ruth, you had another question?
In database.
Yes. And of course, I just forgot what it was.
First, I wanted to thank everyone for participating today because this is like the third one we've done, and the first two we didn't really have much questions. But that's why I'm trying to do this. I want you to ask questions. I want you to learn. For you guys to become better realtors. I'm trying to bring people on here. Who have I said, just like with Corey, we've been through the good times, been through the bad times, and just share his experiences and what he's done, and hopefully help you.
Now I remember what I was going to ask.
Go ahead.
Your inside salespeople, are they employees? Do you pay them like an hourly rate, or
they're hourly. Mhm.
They're
They're virtual hourly, but I bonus them at the same time.
Okay, great. Thank
Corey, before I start thinking about hiring an ISA, right? I want to get my listings up, probably 100 listings a year. So when I need the help, they can come in after. But I have to grow that number, correct? Maybe my listings. I don't need to worry about that now. Would you say that?
I mean, 100 listens a year is great. That's fantastic. That's top 1% if you're hitting those numbers. But it's all depending on your needs and your wants and how high you want to take your business to the next level. I think that it's all economics too. Breaking down your numbers on right now. I mean, basically, you listen. We're already 3 weeks into January. You know what I mean? What we do today reflects 90 days down the road, right? Our paychecks, right? So, setting up right now because we're already 3 weeks into January. Does that make sense, you guys? Hopefully, you guys understand that. We're always 3 weeks into January, breaking down where you want your 1099 to be at the end of next year, right? What numbers you need to hit every single day, and that breaks down to contacts, to people met, to appointments, to listings taken, to listings sold. So it's all a statistic. So you have to work your numbers backwards based on the amount of money that you want to make at the end of 2024.
That's the one quick last. What's the biggest objection you're getting right now when you're speaking to potential sellers?
I mean, right now we're not selling simply because the interest. There's no place to go. Right? Where I'm going to go. Right? But also commission. Right? We have agents that are out there that are taking, listen, we lost one the other day. Somebody took a 3.5% commission. They're giving away 2.5%. They're taking 1%. So, commission. Just the normal stuff that's out there. My cousin, my family, is a realtor, or they're part-time, but I can't cheat on them, right? Or just a few of those, just to be. I mean, there's probably about 50 more that I just can't think of, but we see a lot of those objections.
And you still list properties, Corey. You had list properties in the past for folks that had realtors in their family, right? You've done that. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And listen, I'm pulling stats. I'm like, hey, well, who's your family member? Giovanni. What's Giovanni's last name? Okay, great. Listen, I'm going online. I'm pulling up I'm pulling up how many sales they've had. I'm pulling up their marketing. You know what I mean? I'm pulling up once again, everybody's on Zillow, right? Oh, that Giovanni's not even on Zillow. You're going to go with Giovanni. He doesn't even have a profile on Zillow. What kind of, what kind of, so yeah. So listen, just 10 minutes of research or 5 minutes of research. And a lot of time, guys, I'm right there in front of the seller with my laptop, or I may have my cell phone right here. What's your cousin's name again? Let me pull him up. Let me see what this guy or gal's doing.
No, that's why I tell realtors, like those little things, like just having a realtor.com profile, Zillow.com. So when someone Googles you, even if you're not a full-time realtor, it looks like you are, because it's like, and I say this for a long time, we do close with people, like we get a contract or something, and we cannot even find this person's phone number, their email address, nothing. It's like, if we can't find it, how can a potential buyer or seller find it? Hang on.
Yep.
Okay, so
your LinkedIn profile, guys, is important. Your Instagram is important. Your Facebook is important. If you just want to have a walk, listen, we're talking right now, right? So hey, listen, I had a great conversation with Giovanni and Corey today, surrounding around real estate, right? So just creating content.
Yeah, something for you to talk about.
Yeah, we're not secret agents. Most agents are secret.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So that's that class I do. That's basically what it's about.
This is a constant sale.
So Brie said a question that, she came in late, but she said, before you leave, can you give the top tips for a new agent when it comes to generating leads? Also finding the self-motivation to keep going and not give up in this tough market.
Listen, first of all, we have to get in our mindset that this market isn't tough, right? One thing about houses, they hold people. People need places to stay, right? People need to sell, people die, people get divorced, people need to upgrade, people get promoted, people get down, people, lose their jobs, right? So real estate is still moving. One great thing about real estate right now is that true estimated statistic, there was 200,000 mortgage originators here in the country. I think last year is projected for that number to be right around 75,000 mortgage originators going into next year, right? Okay, so that's more than half of the people that are getting out of not only the mortgage world, but guess what? They're getting out of the real estate world as well, right? Everybody has a board fee, and if you're not transacting, you're not going to be able to pay for your board fee. So you have to look at this as opportunity, where you are eliminating the fat, right? You're eliminating the fat, and you have to have an extremely strong mindset, knowing that people are going to need to buy and sell. I don't care if the rates go to 10%. It's just the market. But and at the same time, locking yourself in with either a accountability partner or a coach, or an extremely strong team that is out in the field, pushing through these times, because at the end of the day, once again, homes hold people. People still need places to stay, and there's still going to be an enormous amount of business that's going to be generated going into next year.
Yeah, and I mean, there are other realtors out there, but they, just like you said, they have to hire someone. So why can't it be you?
Correct.
So just use this time right now to learn as much as you can. As I said, be the smartest person in the room. So when they talk to you, they're going to be impressed with you, and they're going to list with you, or they're going to use you as their buyer's agent.
Yeah.
Our
contact rate, if we have 100 no's per day, you all listen, out of the 100 no's that we get per day, you're going to get 5 maybes, maybe not now. You may get one yes in 6 months, or you may get that one that says yes, right? So you just have to be consistent. You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency.
I talked to one realtor a few weeks ago, and they have an office on Los Olas, and I said, she was complaining about business, and I said, well, why don't you just, are you allowed to do floor time? Yeah. I did it once, but I didn't get nothing. So just because you do it once, don't give up. It's like, but if you're consistent, you continually do it, it's going to pay off at some point. There's no way if you for 52 weeks stayed in our office and waiting for walk-ins that you're not going to get something, let's say, or I'm just using that as an example. I mean,
Right.
whether it's cold calling, whether it's door knocking, whether it's open houses, if you're consistent, it's going to pay off at some point. But if you do it once a year, no, you're probably not going to get anything out of it. And that's regardless of what business you're in.
And guys,
any other questions?
We're in a fabulous market. What was the average price point, Gio? 5 something? What do you
I think it's over 6s now. It's like,
come on, y'all. Come on.
Yeah.
If you're putting in 40, even 50 hours a week, you're going to at least have one sale.
Mhm.
If you think that if you're not putting in 40 to 50 hours per week, and Giovanni just said average price point sales is $600,000, $18,000 commission, then something's wrong.
Yeah, imagine doing one. Imagine even just doing one a month. That's
18 grand.
Yeah, it's like
Business out there.
That's over 200,000. Yeah.
Corey, what's some of the biggest challenges you have seen among agents that's actually holding them back, or which within your team? Then you said you have 5 agents. What's some of the big challenges that you see some of them are having?
Well, I would probably say most of my agents are, they've been with me for years, but maybe the couple of newer ones are the ones that come and go, right? Are the ones that are not prospecting, prospecting base, right? Or they want instant gratification, right? So when you get in the business of real estate, don't expect a check for 4 months. Okay. That's what I'm telling. That's what I'm telling agents. Listen, don't expect a check for 4 months. If you do get a check, then congratulations. You did good. You got lucky. You follow me, right? But if you once you get over that hump of consistency of 120 days of being consistent, then the checks will come nonstop, as long as you stay consistent.
Okay,
Any other questions? All right.
I just have one last question. Did you work with both buyers and sellers at the same time, or you kind of pass your buyers on to someone else?
I passed the buyers to another buyer's agent.
Someone on your team.
Correct.
Yeah.
Buyers are, listen, we're heavy. We're 90-10. We're 90% seller base and 10% buyer base.
Okay.
Maybe now with Rocket, maybe going to next year's, those numbers are going to change. But we've always been 90-10, where 90% seller versus 10% buyer.
Okay.
You got a last question, Bernard?
Yeah, it's irrespective of the price point. You still go ahead and pass it out to someone else, right?
As far as
that particular lead, let's say it's $800,000. You still pass it on to an agent and have them handle it, and you just focus
as
on
long as the agent's a closer, yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that
have him put his phone number in there and the email address. Corey, if you can do that again.
I did it once. Let me
you can put it in again if you want.
Yeah, let me pop on my glasses so I can see.
Yeah, so go
Late.
ahead. Go ahead, Bernard.
No, I came in late, so
Yeah, he's gonna put it in again. I don't know how, I guess you could scroll to chat, but he's put it in again. But Corey, just want to thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man.
I know you're traveling, I know you're busy today, so I really appreciate it.
No problem, Gio.
As I stated before, on Thursday, I'm gonna do this class, 3% mortgage in a 7% world. Go to, www.asktherealestateattorney.com, join the program, use the code LAW. You'll get the Zoom links for that and all the other classes. And, have like a pretty, big month of November coming up with events and stuff. And as I said, I'm gonna do $1,000 raffle, and I'm gonna, keep providing you this good content. So, hope to help you, and we'll all have a great end of the year. All right. Anything else, Corey, you want to finish up?
That's it, y'all. You have a great day. Listen, do not ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. No distraction. It's going to be a great year next year. Transact, talk to people, build your database, and be extremely high level with skill set.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Okay. And hope to see you guys on Thursday. Have a great
Giovanni,
day.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
That's good information. Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bernard. Hope you join on Thursday. Thanks, everybody.